I'll do anything for money. Yeah, I'm gonna get emotional. My shows do not support genocide. I'm actually really into indie music. She walked into my show, she looked really horrified, then she left. She was obsessed with me. Hi everyone, welcome back for another episode of Teena Talks. I do a new episode every single Tuesday at 12 AM GMT. So if you like all things comedy, all things delusion and all things drag, be sure to go and subscribe. Now, I'm currently here at Pirate Studios in Liverpool, putting down some vocal stems for a forthcoming performance on the 25th of February in Manchester. I'm in a final for the Exposed competition with Bailey J. Mills. So if you're in Manchester next Wednesday, be sure to come along. I'll leave the tickets in the description. For this performance, I'm going to be doing something very, very special. And for that, I needed a recording studio. This is where I do all of my music, all the Teena original music. And I thought, okay, well, I've got half an hour left of my studio session. Why don't I go and do my episode of Teena Talks? And it got me to thinking, why don't I go and do a little Q&A? So this morning, I put up a little thing on my Instagram asking people to go and send me some questions which are public and also questions which are secret. And now I'm going to ask them. I'm here in the studio, just having a conversation about the studio.
We were just having a conversation about the studio, no doubt.
I did an episode before about questions from Instagram. Teena Talks the Truth. I put a link above. And I reveal some really sort of personal things. But today, I'm going to answer everything. I've not seen the questions. They're going to be personal. They're not going to be personal. I told everyone I'm going to answer everything. Have people sent me more than one question? Probably. But hey, let's go through it because I've only got 20 minutes left before they're going to chuck me out. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the first one is from Brambly Apple. What's an upcoming project you're really excited for? Well, Brambly, I'm sure I know what you're talking about. So Brambly Apple has a brand new single out. I'm not allowed to reveal anything about it, but I was part of the music video. There's a special episode of Teena Talks coming all about it. But she keeps on telling me, Teena, don't release the information yet. So I'm not allowed to say it, but there is an episode in the can ready to go. Brambly Apple has done a fantastic song. It's nothing that you're going to expect. That's all I will say. Apart from that, I've got the Teena album, which has been years in the making, coming out. I've got Edinburgh Fringe coming up in August, a few really exciting gigs as well. So yeah, lots of exciting projects, but of course I'm most excited about being an extra supporting artist in the Brambly Apple single. I can't tell you what it's called. It starts with an R and ends with an H. Okay, next one is from Elle Aberrett, who filmed me a few weeks ago. Hello, Elle. But link above as well. Lots to watch after this. What is something or someone you think should be celebrated more in 2026? That's a very, very good question. If I'm going to say something, I think it is tolerance. I know that's such a pageant answer, but, you know, with the rise of reform in the UK, tolerance is at an all-time low. So can we just tolerate people more? We don't need to love people, just tolerate them. And someone you think should be celebrated, apart from you, elaborate. The Queen of Pop, I always say, that's Madonna. I can't wait for her new album. It's going to be amazing. So yeah, tolerate people and tolerate Madonna. That is my advice. Thank you, elaborate. Okay, this one's from Rory. But when is she coming to the US, though? I've been to the US many times, but I haven't performed in the US. I've only ever performed in Canada, in North America. I'd love to come, Rory. If you know anyone in the US, book her. She's very cheap, but very famous and very rich. We can come to a deal. Next question's from Daryl. Hello, Daryl. How much money would you need paid to be in Daryl Ryder's Riding Around the World tour? Now, I think this might be your OnlyFans. I don't think Teena is ready to go back to OnlyFans. But if you want to have an extra or a trained actress, I can certainly be in it. Because you know what? I'll do anything for money. Remember that in August. That's a spoiler for something coming up. Okay, serotonin. Oh. As the UK's premier polyglot drag princess, what's your favourite language? Favourite language is English, because I'm colonial. No, I can't say that! I love English. I think English is the greatest language ever. Not because of colonialism. It's because English can be really, really simple or really, really difficult. The spelling, the structure, there's so many things I could talk about. Okay, let's start off with this. Why is English really, really simple? Because we only have three main types of verbs. We have a simple verb, we have a continuous verb, and we have a perfect verb. And if you learn how to go and do them, everything else is easy. Honestly, like, hey, so a simple verb is a fact, habit, or routine. You've got me into languages now. This is dangerous. A fact, for example, I am a woman. A habit, I smoke cigarettes. And a routine, I smoke cigs every single morning after my first coffee. That is present simple. Then you go and have the present continuous, which is an action or a process. For example, I am speaking to you. I'm not saying when I started speaking to you, it is a process. I am waving my hand. Not saying how long it is a process. Then we have a perfect verb. I have done something. I did something in the past and it is true now. And then we can go and put all of these into the past. For example, I had done something before what I just said. Something in the past, something else earlier in the past. And then we just put it all into the future with a modal verb. I will have done something. I will be doing something. I will go somewhere. And the modal verbs are all the same. I will, I might, I should. English is really, really easy in that sense. English language, oh my God, you got me distracted. And the hard things about English, let's not go into the difficultness. I've told you something basic about the simpleness. Let's go now to the next question. Oh, I'm going to have fun editing this, aren't I? Okay, this is a hard question from February. It's my friend Raven. What's your fave song of all time? I'm going to be really, really pretentious for this. Although, like, the Teena character likes to do sort of upbeat and silly songs, I love a really serious song. I think we sort of maybe have learned this from my new single, Sad New Year, which was recorded in these very, very studios. So if I had to make a quick decision, and I'm going to be a little bit pretentious here, but hey, that's Teena as well. I'm going to say La Fama by the Spanish group Chelsea Boots. La fama, la fama, la fama, eh. La fama, la fama, la fama. It's a really, really beautiful song with a really, really sad message about fame, which, you know, I love. I'm actually really into indie music.
But I also love indie music.
So yeah, my favourite song is La Fama by Chelsea Boots. Or if we're going to be, it depends on moods as well, I'll also say Jane Child's Don't Want to Fall in Love. That's a classic. When I went to Canada, back to Rory's question, I really wanted to sing that in Toronto, but I didn't have time. And everyone I asked didn't know it. But yeah, Jane Child is also a tune as well. Okay, Miss Barb Barrick. Oh, hello, Barb. She was on Queer Vision a few years ago. What shenanigans have you got planned for the Edinburgh Fringe? Kiss, 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 hug, hug, hug. Very good question. I don't want to reveal too much, but I am going back to Edinburgh Fringe after a difficult time 2 years ago. The photo shoot for the show has been done. The name, the concept has all been done. You're going to see Teena in a brand new light, and I'm going to do something you've never seen before. So yeah. Oh, stay cryptic. It's going to be exciting. Thank you very much for that, Barb Barrick. Okay, we have now done the questions from Instagram. Now I'm going to go for the secret questions. I don't know who have sent these. I'm expecting some controversy here. If it's something like, what's your favourite colour? I will answer, and I'm pretty much hoping it might be that. No, I want something messy. I'm scared. I like the first question. Okay, Andorra or Spain? I was born in the UK. My dad is Polish. My mum is British Scottish. And I spent a lot of my childhood between Spain and Andorra. And I love Andorra. I love Spain. I haven't been back to Andorra since 2011 because my dad stopped living there, so I never bothered to go back. But I love Andorra. The pretentious answer is Andorra. There's just something just lovely about Andorra and the community and the people and the fact that it's all Catalan, which I love. But Spain, of course, is a big, big country. I go to Spain quite a lot. So I have to go and say Andorra, also for my childhood memories. Interesting fact, I went to Andorra before I ever went to Spain. Why is that? They don't have an airport. I flew into Toulouse. It's too hard. Sophie's choice of countries. Pero t'estimo Andorra, te quiero España. There we have it. Oh, there's some... You're sending... I don't know why people are being anonymous for these. What is the main difference between Lucien, spelt wrong, and Teena? There's a huge difference, and I'm sure you probably can tell now. I'm more of a performative Lucien, but I'm definitely Lucien now, not Teena. So I like to go and think that Teena is the absolute mirror opposite of Lucien. For example, Lucien can be quite shy, Teena's very, very outgoing. Lucien's quite posh, Teena is common as muck. Lucien's a really sensitive, nice person, and Teena is completely heartless. So I like to sort of think it's sort of a mirror of the characters. But do you know what they say? They say that drag brings out who you are. And it turns out I'm a complete CUNT. So yeah, that's the main difference. I'm completely different to Teena. Oh, nothing nice question. Okay, how was your experience with Kim Woodburn? R.I.P. Kim Woodburn. I got to perform for her at Drag Idol 2024 at Via Bar in Manchester. She was the guest judge. And I don't want to be arrogant. I don't want to be self-involved. She was obsessed with me. All her Instagram was only about me in this competition. I think she thought I was dressed up like her, but I just wasn't. I had this sort of big blonde hair. I was wearing pink, and she was really, really nice. And the one thing I will say to you about Kim Woodburn is that after all the performances happened, she did a meet and greet from completely free for around 2 hours. She met every single person there who wanted to go and meet her and have a photo. She was so, so patient. She really, really loved being famous. And as I think about her, yes, she had her quarrels. Yes, I did change the fact I was going to sing a Nolan song because I knew she was going to be there. The Teena, 2 years older, probably would have done the Nolans to make a point and do some comedy. She was so, so lovely, so supportive. She loved the gays. And Kim, we love you. You're not a phony. I like that, Colleen. Oh, quick story about Colleen Nolan. You know, she came to my show at Edinburgh Fringe 2 years ago, an audience with Teena. I managed to get in touch with her through social media. Long story short, I sort of spammed her and got all my friends to go and spam her to come to my show. I knew she was there supporting her son. She walked into my show. She looked really horrified. Then she left. True story. So yeah. Team Kim. More nice questions. Okay, this is going to be a boring video. Oh, I've just seen more questions. Oh, it gets better. The next one. Oh my God. You have to leave soon. Do you support the trans community? I absolutely support the trans community. I've always felt part of the trans community, although I am living my life as he, him. I'm pretty sure I'm not trans. I have a very early memory of the trans community. I was brought up by my grandparents, and one of my grandmother's best friends became a woman. She was in the army, a very macho man at the time, obviously. Trans women are men before, most of them are, don't cancel me. And she was in the army as a really sort of tough guy. And she became a trans woman, and everyone ignored her apart from my family, apart from my grandmother and my grandfather. And she was a really, really big part of my childhood. Later on, she ended up saying that she didn't support trans people. She even wrote a book about it. She really regretted transitioning, but not because she was a man. She always knew she was a woman. It's because of how much it affected her family. No one talked to her anymore. And it's really, really sad. Her name was Miranda Ponsonby. She ended up being the eldest nurse in the NHS in Kettering. And yeah, she sadly died a few months ago. Yeah, I'm going to get emotional. So yeah, well done. You cracked me with a question, which wasn't even that. But yeah, okay, good. The last two are the most bad. I can't answer these. I'm going to have to answer them. Okay. Why do your shows support genocide? My shows do not support genocide. Okay, you're talking about Queer-O-Vision. Okay, I have a comedy competition called Queer-O-Vision. I've done a video about this. It has been running since in its form since 2019. It is to celebrate the Eurovision Song Contest. Yes, I've thought about stopping this show, but I haven't. I've thought about rebranding the show. I'm shaking now, but I haven't. I am still doing Eurovision songs. I am hosting a Eurovision show as well here in Liverpool at the Hot Water Comedy Club in May. I do not support genocide. I believe that Palestine should be its own state. We're getting into the issue of anti-Semitism. We're getting into the issue of why is everyone jumping over Eurovision because Israel are taking part, but they're still supporting football where Israel are taking part? Oh, but it's a straight queer thing. Yeah, but also then like the women's football, the Lionesses, is very LGBT. So therefore, why are you supporting the Lionesses? It is such a difficult area. I will continue the competition which I created, celebrating art, celebrating languages, celebrating culture. I will not support Israel taking part in Eurovision. I did a video about Eurovision in Israel as well. It's a horrible situation. I hate the fact that Eurovision has become so cursed. But I certainly don't support genocide. I will not change the branding of the show. Israel should not be part of Eurovision. That's my opinion. Thanks for bringing me down. That was all the point of these secret questions. You're doing very, very well. See, I'm very quiet now. Okay, this one's not as bad. Last question. Okay, back to the energy, Teena. Who is your least favourite queen at work and why? I don't have a least favourite queen. So I'm going to finish with positivity. Who are my favourite queens? My favourite queens are... I don't have a favourite. I love you all. And hey, let's go and be all liberal and say it's not just queens. We should also support kings. We should also support theys as well. Why is it just queens? Okay, well, those were my questions. I hope you enjoyed them. Which questions did you enjoy the most? What do you think about my answers? Put them in the comments below. But my name is Teena. I do a new episode every single Tuesday. So be sure to go and subscribe. It's lovely that my audience is growing and hopefully you've learned a little bit more about the man behind the crazy woman. Now, I can't tell you what I'm doing behind, but if you are in Manchester, come and see me at the Brewers next Wednesday at the Exposed competition and come and be Team Teena. What I prepared is a really crazy performance. Never seen any other performer do this before, so it's going to be lots of fun. But for now, my name is Teena. I'm very, very famous, and I'll see you next week for another episode of Teena Talks. Woo!